I think a lot of people tend to let external forces or people influence their internal being or just who they are. They let people make them sour or cold or bring them down or lower their energetic state or make them apologize for something they don't think they should apologize for or whatever it is, right? So I think that's wrong. I believe that you should always be yourself no matter what. You should not let people bring you down or alter the way you act in any way, shape, or form. Now, that doesn't mean like if someone gives you good advice or someone tells you something and you resonate with it, like ignore it. Like obviously have principled open-mindedness and be able to grow and adapt. But like if you don't agree with something or you don't resonate with something, don't conform just cuz or just because it's the right thing to do. Like here's the basis of this video and my example. So I went bowling with my friend and another friend that I don't talk to anymore, but she talks to my friend here, right? They still like talk all the time. And so, but I know her from my past and we're cool. And then she also had a friend that she brought. So it was 4 of us total, including me. And that's what total means, dumbass. And so we went bowling. And, we were having a good time. I'm a very witty, charismatic, like goofy guy. I joke a lot. I talk my shit. But there's always a smile. Like, you see the smile? Like, I just smile all the time. I love smiling. I don't know why. It's just how I'm built, I guess. But I smile all the time. And so, I crack a joke and then I'll have my big smile pop up. So, like, I'm not being serious. I'm not just an asshole, right? And also, like, you can tell I'm a kind person based off my actions, my mannerisms. Like, I grab everyone water. I always hold the door. I, talk for people. That doesn't sound nice. But, I'll talk to the front desk dude or whatever, right? Like I like to take care of things and just make it a smooth experience for people. So everyone's just having a good time and we're just invested in the moment, right? And, yeah, we were doing great, bowling. I did good the first game, and then I did worse the other games, but I'm going to explain why, because I was learning something new. But, well, I guess that goes into my vibe. So, yeah, so basically, first game was good. I was winning at first, and then my friend, apparently he's goated at bowling. Crazy goated. He does, like, what the professional bowlers do, the little spin, like, boom, and it spins it, and boom, a strike. It's, like, crazy. But he beat me the first game, and then so my objective went from winning to learning how to do that. So he taught me, like, he gave me some tips and stuff, and I just kind of learned, and I got definitely better at it by the end, but it's just more like, now I know how to do it, it's just more control. Like, I need to learn how to control the trajectories and aim better. But yeah, I was getting better. Anyways, I was doing good the whole time. Like, energetically, mentally, I was happy. I was doing my goofy thing. I'd hit the ball in the gutter and I'd go, and then I'd fall back, like roll into a ball and roll back. Or, I don't know, I'd just be goofy. They'd put songs on, I'd be dancing like low, low, low. And then I'd like drop back. Like, I can't do it here, but basically, like my legs fold, you know what I'm saying? I drop back. I remember doing that shit at prom. That was hard as hell. But I can't do it anymore. Like I can't just go all the way down and back up with just my legs. I don't know why. Maybe it's a flexibility problem. Anyways, I was just, having a good time. I was enjoying the moment. I was being, right? But 2 things stood out to me that are making me make this video, right? So one is the friend that I did know before. She got upset. Or no, not, well, annoyed. Yeah. She got annoyed at something I did. So I was talking to my friend and, we were like, she was part of the conversation, right? But like, then I went like up to him, right? Like fake shit talking about her. And then I noticed her like vibe shift. Like she just got more like, quiet, annoyed, like whatever, right? She hit like a spare, I think. And then she like, we were all like, yeah, let's go or some bullshit, right? And she was like, like there wasn't any, she clearly was not as hyper or energetically like, high as she was 10 minutes ago, 5 minutes ago. And so I asked what's wrong, right? And she said, I annoyed her. And I'm like, me? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, what did I do? And then she explained how she felt it was, what do you call it? She felt it was rude or disrespectful that I was, doing this like in a group dynamic, like we should all be talking to each other. And then I explained, because I'll explain, I won't argue, but I'll explain my side to an extent until I believe that it's stupid to argue my point further, and they're not going to listen, or it doesn't matter what I say, they're not going to change their thought about it. So I explained my my side and how it's like, but it was literally a joke, like we were just talking, and then I did that, and I wasn't saying anything, and then she explained basically the same thing again, like like maybe a few different words, but yeah, and then my friend, he was like, just say sorry, and I was like, no, I'm trying to understand her, like I'm trying to understand why she's upset, right? So basically the same kind of argument just happened over and over, right? So after like 3 rounds of it, of like her basically defending her point of why she's annoyed, and I was like, okay, I was like, I understand where you're coming from, but I didn't apologize to her. And my friend's mindset is, you're supposed to be the bigger man. That's why he just told me to say sorry, because in his eyes it's like, you just want to keep the peace so the dynamic, the whole social dynamic stays good and like we're all having fun, right? But the way I view it is, I won't sacrifice my thoughts and my groundedness just to satisfy someone else. Now, if I agreed with her point, like for example, if I was actually saying something to him and I genuinely spoke words of meaning, then yeah, okay, immediate apology, because I own up to my mistakes and I own up to things I do wrong, and I would totally get behind that and understand her point. Like to me, that would be a valid reason that she's annoyed, right? But because I was speaking gibberish and I told her that, the way I view it is, okay, well, I'm not going to apologize because I didn't do anything wrong and I don't sympathize with your reasoning of being annoyed. And so I just left it, I was like, okay, but here's the difference, right? A lot of guys would start acting cold towards her or talk to her less, and I don't know, maybe their vibe would just shift, or they'd get in a lower vibe. But me, I just stay the same. Nothing changed after that. Like, I just kept doing my thing. I was bowling, I was laughing, smiling, talking to everyone. I refilled everyone's waters, whatever, right? Like, I went to go get them refilled. I didn't just summon water from the sky. That'd be cool. But after 5 or 10 minutes or something, yeah, she went back to normal, right? Like, I didn't conform. I kept my own standards and I stayed grounded, and everything went back to normal and the vibes went back to being good and it was all Gucci. And then I explained to my friend why I didn't apologize, and that to me, it's not about being the bigger man, because I am always the bigger man. I have no problem being the bigger man and apologizing. I don't have an ego like that. I'll never defend myself if I believe that I'm wrong in any way, shape, or form. But I simply didn't believe I was wrong at all, so I'm not going to apologize, right? Anyways, then her friend, the one that I've never met before, like, I don't know, I'm, like I said, I talk my shit and I'm witty and I always got something to say. And she talked her shit back, right? And it was fun at first because, like, it's fun to have someone to challenge me and stuff. But then, especially as time went on, I felt the energy shift from her. Like, I felt it, like, happening throughout the night and whatever. But she like for me, like, it's obviously all playful. I'm always smiling after, and there's always good vibes behind it, and I'm never actually, like, really talking shit, like, on a serious level, right? But for her, I could feel, like, the negativity and the defensiveness, what's the word? I just felt the hostility behind it. Like, it wasn't all just games and play. Like she was, like, I felt the negative energy behind it. It came across as play because that's what we're doing, right? Like, we're just, like, it's just banter and, like, witty shit talk. But I could feel like the negative energy behind it. Like I'm just good at sensing that energy. I can tell when people get upset or the vibe switches, or I can tell when like people are being nice or when they're like, being like playful and friendly versus when they're, doing it from a different place, like a place of like lower energy. And yeah, I just kept being me. I kept talking my shit and being witty and doing whatever because I won't let nobody kill my vibe, right? I just kept doing my thing. I kept living life and I didn't let it affect me. But it was still there, But just like my friend, like I didn't treat her differently and I didn't treat this girl differently either. I just keep treating them the same way. I let my energy stays high and I just keep being me and I keep enjoying life in the moment and bowling and learning a new skill and practicing and yeah. And by the end of the night, I went home, I slept like a baby. I had a good night. I was happy. My mood was high the whole time. But I guess the idea or the moral of this video, the moral of the story, don't let anybody kill your vibe. Don't let external forces influence you to act in a way you don't want to act or just to make you act differently in general. What value would have came from me acting cold towards them once they like express that and I'm like, okay, buddy, right? Like if I started acting cold towards them, that would have just ruined the social dynamic. That would have just ruined my night, right? Like it's an L for all parties, as opposed to just keep being, just keep living. Don't change because someone said something you don't agree with or someone else is like lowering the vibe. Like just keep your vibe high, and usually things go back to normal. For example, with my friend, like things went right back to normal. And with this girl, it just kind of was just like that the whole time. So I was just like, whatever, I'll just keep being me. And like the overall group vibe was good the whole time. And I never stopped refilling drinks or opening doors for people or anything. I think that's all I got. Thanks for watching. If you resonated with me in any way, shape, or form, I implore you to hit the subscribe button and turn on noties so you never miss a future upload. If you have looked away. If you'd like to know me on a more personal level, you should check out my vlog, Joseph Marrone. The link will be in the description. And you better like.